Vallejo. I was born in Los Angeles. I am the daughter of a retired colonel in the Air Force. And so I traveled a great deal as a young woman, all through the United States, Europe, and then again all through Mexico when I became a young adult. Traveled a great deal through Mexico. I've studied at the University of Madrid. I got my Master of Fine Arts at Cal State University Long Beach in Southern California. I'm a printmaker by my master's in printmaking, grabados, and I've been painting since I was 4 years old. I began working as a very small child and always loved being an artist, always wanted to be an artist, and have spent my life in my carrera to be an artist. I've shown a great deal over the 40 years of my career, possibly something close to 1,000 exhibitions. I've produced hundreds of works of art as paintings, sculptures, prints, mixed media works, photography, and I've covered several different areas of art in my work as well. I have a great deal of interest in Mexico Indígena, Mexico Antigua, is one of my big interests. Also, I've spent a great deal of time in the Chicano community and studied Chicano art and studied Chicano history, studied the history of Mexico, and also, well, of course, Europe, because I lived there for many years as well. And recently, my work has been focused on the whole idea of being Latino, of being brown. And so I created a series of works called Make 'em All Mexican, where I bought pricey antiques, little statuettes, larger statues, everything from secondhand stores and antique malls, and painted the skin brown. So the entire world became brown. Make 'em all Mexican. All the presidents, all the movie stars, all the cartoon characters, all the historical figures, everyone all of a sudden became brown, a la mexicana, right? So I've gone from that into studies of data regarding U.S. Latinos. Up in this exhibition here at the Museo, I have a series of pieces that focus on Latino population, health, and workforce data in the United States, and I produce objects with brown dots on architectural grid paper, creating what I call data pictographs, which are really mathematical paintings, if you will, that describe how the Latino is doing in the U.S. We're about 17% of the population, but we only have like 5.6% of the lawyers, less than that of the doctors and surgeons. And a lot of my work is about looking, who are we? How do we see ourselves? How do other people see us? What gifts do we bring? What do we have to offer? And how can we improve our status as citizens, as artists, as workers, and as professionals? So I have a great deal of work that I produced and a very long career. I'm giving away my age. I'm much older than I look, apparently, I hope. And I'm continuing to do work that involves the history of Mexico and the Mesoamerican history of Mexico, and I'm combining the two things with what it means to be a U.S. Chicana, Latina, Mexicana. And so much of my imagery includes a Mexican heritage, a love of Mexican history, a love of Mesoamerican history in Mexico and the Americas, with the whole idea of being an American, living in America, being an American entrepreneur, with family that was born in America. My mother was born in the United States, and so was my father and both of my grandmothers. Well, look at me and see that I am not white. See that I am brown, that I'm perceived as brown. People see me as brown. I see myself as brown. I am a mixture of Spanish blood and Indian blood, which gives me this beautiful color, this beautiful bronze color. In the southern part of the United States, many people think that I am a Navajo or Apache, because we have that together in crossing the border. And there are many people who are brown, and all shades of brown, right? Mexicanos and Chicanos y los indígenas, we're all different shades of brown, and all of it is very beautiful. But people have trouble with the color brown. They're not sure how they feel about it. They're not sure how they feel about others being brown. They're not sure how they feel about themselves being brown. So it's important to begin talking about it in a good way, in a friendly way, so that we can share our feelings about what it means to be different, to be seen as different, because we are. We have a history that's different, a beautiful history that's different, culture, art, music, right? A community that's different. It's ours, and it's brown, interestingly enough. I was traveling through the United States seeing a lot of artwork made out of objects already pre-made. They called it pre-production or repurposed. And I asked myself, if I was going to make repurposed art from my cultural point of view, how would that look? What would that be like? And one day I went to an antique mall and I saw 2 little salt and pepper shakers of the Pilgrims for Thanksgiving dinner. And I made them brown and switched history on its head. If you make everyone brown, suddenly history becomes different. I made Elvis Presley brown. What if Elvis Presley had been Mexicano? The music world would be a completely different place. What if the royalty of Europe was brown? The world would be history would just be undone. Access is undone, power is undone, right? We own it, we are everything and we own everything. And it's different because a lot of brown people don't have access to power. They don't have access to education. They don't have access. And so a lot of this work is opening these doors about talking about it. And the first thing we have to admit to ourselves is I'm brown and I'm beautiful. Brown is beautiful. Brown is sexy, brown is delicious, right? Brown is luscious, right? I have some sculptures that I made with car paint and it looks like milk chocolate. And people go, ooh, it looks like I'm good enough to eat. And I go, yeah, brown is good enough to eat. This is how we have to begin seeing ourselves on both sides of the border, south of the border and north of the border. We need to begin inviting the total family, la familia total, to come together and enjoy the cultura.